guys, welcome to week 2 postpartum, going over some of the exercises that I've been doing to try and get my core and pelvic floor and some of my hip muscles back up and running to just help with daily activities, childcare activities, and also pave the way to hopefully get back into running here in a few weeks to months. So this week's mostly been about just increasing repetitions of the exercises that I showed you guys last week, but I was able to progress some of those exercises to the next level up, so I just wanted to go over those. Starting on my side, so if you remember last week we went over clamshells, where you're laying on your side and you want to keep your hips stacked vertical, and then you're going to have your legs bent to kind of a 45-degree angle here and about a 90-degree angle there, and you're just keeping the feet together and opening up the knee. So hip doesn't move or pelvis doesn't move, it's just the knee opening up and down. And so these ones I've been able to build up to 30 repetitions on each side pretty easily, and 30 reps is kind of my goal for all of these exercises, these early ones, just because it's a good endurance number. And most of these first exercises are more about just getting the muscle firing again and building up some basic endurance, not really looking to do major strengthening at this point. So built up to 30 of these clamshells, and then added reverse clamshells where you keep your knees together and you raise the foot. So this works the opposite rotator muscles in the hip, which we talked about the clamshells working rotator muscles that are intricately involved with the pelvic floor muscles. Same thing with these rotators. So both rotator muscle groups are involved with the pelvic floor, so strengthening them is important in helping to support the pelvic floor. So built up to 30 of these as well, and I actually found those a little bit easier than these, so maybe I should have started these earlier, but whatever. We also went over last time the side lying leg lifts, again making sure the pelvis stays still, all the movements coming from the hip, making sure that top leg is straight with the knee and foot pointed straight ahead, and that you're lifting the leg straight up, slightly back behind you, not towards the front. So I built up to 30 of these as well. These are still a bit of a burner to the last few reps, but was able to build up to 30 of those. And then I added the opposite, which is hip adduction. So bending the top leg, planting the foot, straightening the bottom leg, and then lifting the bottom leg up off the ground. These ones I still feel a fair amount of pull on my left side where I have a stitch from a small tear. So I've just kind of been taking these easy. These took me a little longer to get up to 30 reps on, and I've not tried to really progress them beyond that, just taking them kind of slow and gentle. So it's not a big movement, but this works the adductors along the inside of the thigh, which again are really important for stabilizing the pelvis. The adductors and the abductors, which do the leg lift out this way, they work together when you're standing on one leg to keep your pelvis level and avoid it dropping or tilting to one side. All right, I think that's all the ones laying on my side. So then on the back, last time we'd gone over how to activate your deep core muscles using breathing, and then a gentle kind of drawing the belly in to stabilize the pelvis. And then we talked about and worked on heel slides, where you're just sliding one leg out. I did get to where I could fully extend each leg with this one and built up to 30 repetitions. And so I moved these up to a level 1A, which is where you actually hover one foot as you straighten the leg out, bring it back in, and then switch sides, hover that other foot. And again, the hands on the hips are to feel 1 for tension in that muscle under your fingertips, and then 2 for any arching of the back, loss of pelvic stability where those bony points on the front of your pelvis tilt forwards, or any kind of dipping down to one side, sort of rocking side to side of the pelvis. Any of those 3 things would be signs that you have lost the stability in your core muscles. You need to pause, take a good breath, get that muscle going again, and then restart. And do as many as you can, trying to keep that pelvis level. So I built up to 30 of these now, so next video I'll get to show you the next level of those. I added in a core march, which is starting from the same position, getting that tummy gently drawn in, pelvic floor slightly lifted, and then marching one leg up to like a 90-90 tabletop position, back down, and again alternating back and forth, feeling for those same signs of loss of stability in the pelvis. And I was able to build up to 30 pretty quickly with these. So what I did to make it more challenging was I scooted my feet further away from my butt, and that makes a longer lever arm, so a longer distance between the joint and the weight of my leg, which makes it more challenging. I was able to build up to 30 here as well, so I started trying to work on the next level of these, level 1A, which is where you come one leg up to 90-90 and then bring the other leg up to meet it, put the first leg back down and the other leg back down. This one's a lot more challenging, so I've only been able to do about 10 in a row, 5 leading with the left leg and then 5 leading with the right leg. But that's the next level of those that I started working on. For bridges, we talked about squeezing your butt tight and then trying to lift the hips up off the ground, keeping your butt squeezed super tight, lowering back down, and then relaxing everything out. So I was able to build up to 30 of these, and so I moved these up to the next level, which is squeezing, lifting, holding for 10 seconds, and then coming back down. So I'm up to 10 repetitions with 10-second holds on that one. One other thing that I added laying on my back was a gentle hip adduction. So since those adductors were challenging laying on my side, I wanted to work them in a different way. So I just used a foam roller between my knees here. You could use a pillow, a couch cushion, just something that is a little more firm so it won't completely give way on you. Because the goal with these is to gently try to squeeze your knees in on that object and then relax back off. So there's no actual movement. Your knees aren't moving in and out, but you are turning on those adductors and kind of working to strengthen them gently. So only squeezing as hard as you feel comfortable going. I still get a little bit of discomfort in my pelvis with this one, so I just squeeze till I get to like a 1 out of 10, kind of feel it, and then relax back off. Not trying to push through anything right now. What else did I do? Standing wise, progress the heel raises, the standing going up on your tiptoes. So last week I was working on double leg ones where you're just coming up and down this way. So I built up to 30 repetitions, feet pointed straight ahead, did 30, toes pointed out, did 30, and then toes pointed in, did 30. And once I got to where I could do those all in a row, then I started working on a single leg heel raise, so where you have to balance on one foot and come up and down. These are a lot more challenging. Anything in single leg standing is a lot more challenging on the pelvic floor and all of those hip muscles because they're all working to keep your pelvis level from keeping it from dipping. So I definitely felt those more and have only done like a couple sets of 10 on each side with that one. Again, just not really pushing into discomfort too much. A little bit is okay, but whatever you're comfortable with. All right. I added in some stretches using the foam roller to roll my upper back. Usually if we're breastfeeding, we tend to find ourselves kind of in this really forward rounded position when feeding. And so I did add in foam rolling for the upper back, where you just kind of lay back on that roller. I like to go hands behind the head and then let it roll up through the upper back, just kind of breathing deeply, letting those little pops and cracks happen, letting tension release. Another thing I really like to do with the foam roller is actually lay on it longwise, where it's lined up along your spine. This is something you may have seen in a yoga class, but if you lay on it from butt to head and then let those arms relax down by your side, this is a really great opener for the pec muscles. Arms by your side helps to open up pec minor, and then you can slowly kind of snow angel up towards your head, just kind of pausing where you feel it get tighter, taking a few breaths to let things relax back out, and then seeing if you can move up a little further with your arms. So taking a total of maybe 3 to 5 minutes here and just kind of working through the tightness in those pecs throughout that shoulder range of motion. this is going to help protect your shoulders and also help fight that forward posture that we get from spending so much time holding baby. All right. I'd love to hang out here all day, but got to get back to it. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I'll post another video next week with more progressions that I'm doing. And just real quick disclaimer, this video is intended for information only. So I am not in this video in trying to prescribe exercises for anyone in particular. Just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing for ideas, if you're looking for exercise ideas that are safe postpartum. So definitely recommend that you talk with your healthcare provider before you start any new exercises, because every pregnancy is different, every delivery is different, and every body is different and heals differently. So definitely talk with your PT, your OB, your healthcare provider prior to trying any new exercises. But I hope that gives you guys some ideas and just some little tips and tricks. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.